Whenever I read in the newspaper about a mother who's abandoned her children and run off to Spain, or a wife who popped out to the shops and never came back, I never think, God, that's awful. How could she? I think, I wish I had the guts to do that. I suppress the thought, of course, and quickly count my blessings. 2 healthy children, well, teenagers now. Good husband, loyal, certainly, a wonderful father, great job. But seriously, how do these women have the balls? Think of the young mother of 3, blindly folding laundry while her taxi idles in the driveway, pathetically determined that at least the children will have clean t-shirts when she's gone. Or the devoted wife of 27 years, with a suitcase that's been packed for 19, waving her youngest off to college, and then calmly putting the dishes into soak before slipping out of the kitchen and closing the back door behind her for the very last time. It's awful for those left behind, of course. Only one step down from suicide in terms of selfishness, I suppose, but not a decision taken lightly. Not, in fact, a decision at all, it seems to me suddenly, but an imperative, an impulse as violent and impossible to ignore as vomiting or giving birth. I'd never actually do it, of course. Responsible, happily married women like me don't just quit. I put the emerald gloves down on the glass sales counter. The girl behind it, to call her an assistant would be to imply that she has in some way assisted me, stops texting and looks up. You want to pay for those? No, I think dryly. I'd rather shoplift them, if only to spare us both the effort. But no doubt my mother will change her mind about the colour, and exchanging them will be so much easier with a receipt. I realise my jaundiced inner voice sounds increasingly like Eleanor herself. It's not an uplifting thought. The salesgirl pulls out her white earbuds and lets them dangle round her neck, so the tinny backbeat of music scratches at my nerves. She prods the gloves as if I've presented her with a dead mouse. There's no price tag. As I approach my 40th birthday, I found a curious thing is happening. I finally seem to be growing a spine. I send back bottles of wine when they're corked, where once I'd have grimaced and politely choked them down. I tell queue jumpers to take their place behind me, instead of grumbling sotto voce in that peculiarly British way and permitting them to shove ahead. I'm a perpetual source of embarrassment to my children. No surprise there. It is, after all, part of my job description as a parent, but less palatably also to my husband, whose mission, I have discovered over 15 years of marriage, is to find the line of least resistance and then set up camp there. None of my newfound courage extends to my family, of course. When it comes to standing up to Ned, the children, or my mother, I have all the backbone of a minced jellyfish. Resolutely, I hold my nerve and stare the salesgirl down. With an audible sigh, she yields and disappears. My head throbs painfully. I just want to buy a pair of gloves. Of course, I knew, when my mother asked me at breakfast to pop into Selfridges, that it wouldn't take the 5 minutes she blithely predicted. It took 15 minutes, in fact, just to walk to the department store from my office in Curzon Street, another 20 to find the precise shade of emerald to match my mother's scarf, and 5, so far, trying to pay. Which has left me just enough time to get back for my crucial 2 o'clock meeting, and none at all for lunch. I should have said no. I should have told Eleanor that my job is on the line, has been on the line for months now, and that if she wants me to continue paying her mortgage, never mind mine, I don't have time to go shopping for gloves. Naturally, I didn't. I can cope, you see. I can do it all. I check my watch. I could leave Selfridges now and brave my mother's stoic disappointment, or come back at 9 after work and take the late train home, the slow train that stops at every single station between Waterloo and Salisbury, or I can just wait. I press the fingers of my right hand against the inside of my left wrist, fighting the sudden, unfamiliar flare of panic. Indecision is a new sensation for me. I've always known what to do. Instantly, no second-guessing. It's why Ford Williams pays me the big bucks. But for the first time in my working life, I'm starting to question whether it's worth it. Work has been my sanctuary and salvation for as long as I can remember. For the past 18 months, however,